The Trump tariffs are here, and yesterday we saw one of the worst days in US equity markets in a very long time. And this morning, it's down even further. But something interesting is happening that's worth noting. It's not a guarantee of what comes next, but history tends to rhyme. Back in March 2020, Bitcoin bottomed on March 13th after falling nearly 50% in a single day. It briefly touched the 3000s before going mostly sideways and then climbing higher. Meanwhile, the S&P 500 kept falling and didn't bottom until March 23rd, 10 days later. Interestingly, Bitcoin found a bottom first. Why? Because when liquidity is being drained from the system, something that must happen for equities to fall sharply, Bitcoin, as the most volatile and fastest growing asset, tends to get sold off the hardest and fastest. The bid gets removed entirely in a moment of panic. And because the sell-off is so aggressive and happens so quickly, Bitcoin often bottoms before US equities. Every asset is trading against the dollar, and when dollar liquidity disappears, the most volatile, fastest growing asset gets hit the hardest. But it also tends to find stability first when conditions begin to reverse. Now fast forward to 2025. So far, Bitcoin bottomed on March 11th. Since then, it hasn't made a new low. It touched $76,000 and hasn't fallen further. And now broader equities may be bottoming. The S&P 500 is making a new low today. We may be seeing something similar to March 2020. Liquidity dried up, Bitcoin lost its bid first, it bottomed first, and now equities are bottoming soon after. Investor sentiment supports that view. The AAII bearish sentiment reading recently hit its highest level since March 2009, higher than the COVID crash and higher than the 2022 market lows. March 2009 was the exact bottom of the global financial crisis. Could this extreme negative sentiment be marking another market bottom? Maybe. Of course, none of this guarantees the bottom is in. If the market demands more pain to force a policy shift, if the Fed or the White House doesn't act, equities could go lower. And if that happens, Bitcoin would almost certainly get hammered down again. But timing the exact bottom isn't the point. What matters is the long-term outcome. Bitcoin is the best form of money because it has the best monetary properties. And economic systems converge on one form of money because money solves the problem of barter, which is the inefficiency of multiple monies. In the long run, the dollar must be debased by design. In the short run, it can get bid painfully, but that doesn't last forever. If you're thinking in terms of 4 or 5 years or longer, now is likely one of the best times to build a meaningful position in Bitcoin. Thanks for watching, everyone, and see you next time.